Hello, everyone. Welcome. Hi, Peggy. You have been on my mind a lot today. I don't know what it is. You are just, I don't know, in my thoughts today. Hello, Becky. Oh, I see I have this line where my makeup is and it looks goofy. Ugh. Yuck. So I hope you guys had a wonderful weekend and happy, what is it? Independence Day Eve. I guess that's what we would say. 4th of July Eve, whatever you want to call it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Peggy. Well, maybe that's why you were on my mind. We were just having this kind of brain vibe thing. I don't know. Hello, Sheila. So it has been pretty warm here. Definitely hunkering down inside of the house, trying to stay cool. Today, I think it got to 109. But again, we do have the dry heat, not that moist humidity heat. Yuck. I'm glad ours is dry. Hello, Frida. Hello, Debbie. So yes, we are here getting ready to make some super cute cards tonight. I can't wait to share them with you. Over the weekend, it was my son's birthday. He turned 18 years old. Oh my gosh. I have 2 adult children now. I guess I can't really say children anymore, but to me, they'll always be my children. So, yes, he turned 18. What he wanted was to go out to eat for that day, and he wanted an ice cream cake. So he got both of those. He chose the restaurant. There's a restaurant. It's a buffet style restaurant. It is called Golden Corral. Now, I don't know if that is a world or US wide. I'm not sure, but it is a buffet style restaurant, and he absolutely loves their mac and cheese. So on his birthdays, it seems like for the last, 10 years since we've lived down here, he has asked to go to Golden Corral for his dinner meal. My daughter had a blast there. She loved being there. Hello, Kay. We did notice that she seemed, as we were sitting there, that she was going to have one of her little seizures, but she didn't. She waited until we got in the car, and then she had 2 of them on the way home. So she had an amazing meal. She loved her food. And then, of course, had to go through that on the way home. I don't know. So I will be calling her neurologist back towards the end of this week to see if there's anything he suggests. Either we up her medication, but I do know that last night was the full moon, so it totally makes sense why her seizures were very kind of active the last couple of days. I know some people think that's, hogwash, whatever, about the moon or the barometric pressures in the air that they affect people with seizures, but I am here to witness and tell you that it does definitely affect my daughter, and we have kind of kept a record, and we can definitely see when the full moon is around that it really affects her negatively. So, but it is beautiful. The moon was gorgeous last night. It was so big and just, illuminating. You almost had a shadow from the moon. Hello, Peggy. Hello, Sandra. Welcome, you guys. Thanks for coming in and watching me. I would love it if you guys shared this video. I will do the giveaways here shortly, and we will be doing a giveaway for those who shared last week's video. So I always do a little extra special gift for those of you who share, because I know that's asking a lot of you to share my video. I am going to get you guys flipped around. So question for you guys. What do you guys typically do on your 4th of July? We normally do fireworks, but as the kids are getting older and because of this year in particular, it has been so dry, because normally we're in monsoons right now, but we haven't had any monsoons yet because the heat hit us kind of later in the year. Normally, the beginning of June is when we get the hottest weather, but it actually waited for us, and we are just started seeing it about a week ago. So I'm not sure if we're going to actually have a active monsoon this year. But that being said, it is extremely dry, and we have had these ridiculous winds down here. And so they did say when I was watching the news earlier that the winds are going to pick up again throughout the next day. And so the chances that we don't want to take the chances of letting off fireworks, because we are very rural. We're out in the middle of the desert. There are tons of trees and cactuses and wildlife out here that I would hate for anything to happen. And I know people, you know, they're always like, well, just have a hose around. Well, that might work, but it's just not worth it for us. And because of the animals that we have, I don't like putting them in distress. I don't like putting my dogs in distress, or my mom's dog at that matter. So this year we were kind of thinking of maybe going into town, and watching fireworks at one of the mountains or something that, like we have this really popular mountain here in town. It's called A Mountain. And every year they set the mountain on fire, not intentionally, but the fireworks always seem to catch the mountain on fire. But the only thing is it's so hot. So it's like, do we really want to go sit out there just for what, 10, 15 minutes of explosions going off in the air? I don't know. So that's my question for you guys, is what is something that you guys do either as a family or by yourself or whatever it is? I would love to hear your thoughts on how you celebrate 4th of July. So that is my question. Drop that in the comments and let me know. And when I come back to you guys on next Monday, I will, let you guys know what we decided to do. If we do anything, just depending on how warm it's supposed to get. I know they said tomorrow it's supposed to be like 114. So that just, sitting out in that just doesn't sound like a good time for me. We have talked about possibly going over to a couple of our friends' house and having a barbecue over there. But they are currently out of town and they're not sure if they're going to be back in time by tomorrow to do that. So it's kind of up in the air at the moment. So that is that. Let me get you guys flipped around. We've got some exciting news coming up here in Stampin' Up. And I want you guys to all be aware of it because bonus days, baby. Haha! Love bonus days. I'm so glad that they brought it back. I'm going to tell you all about what bonus days are. I'm also going to tell you some new online exclusives that are coming up and when you guys can go check that out in my store. So hold tight. Let me get you guys flipped around and we're going to get into this. Peggy, I see that you just asked me something. What did you say here? Hello, Jamie. Interesting. What does a full moon have to do with seizures? So what I have kind of researched and found out is that because of the full moon, because of the waxing and the waning of the moon, something about even when, now I don't know exactly the scientific proof behind it. I just know that we have definitely watched it and know that it does affect my daughter negatively with the full moon. Now, when I was quite a bit younger and my mom used to work at a nursing home, she told me stories that her patients, even on a full moon, they would try to escape out the doors. They would just get more anxious. They were a little bit more wild on full moons. And I've kind of heard that throughout my life. And it's never affected me because I don't have anything like that for it to affect me. But I'm here to tell you that I've witnessed it ever since my daughter started having seizures. My husband actually has an app on his watch that tells him when a full moon is coming, or when there is like like we just got done having the summer solstice. That really affected her as well and created a lot of seizures for her. So I don't know the scientific proof behind it. There probably is some if you look at it, but it does definitely affect my daughter. Huh. See, and then Frida just said that they have the Royal Dutchess Airlines have special airline codes on flights during the full moon. So see, that tells you something right there. They know something's going on. And because she works at a restaurant, she can tell the difference between customers, the way that they act during full moons. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just, we get ourselves kind of caught up in it, and that's why. I don't know. I just know that I definitely have witnessed it in my child. So full moon brings on the crazies. Absolutely. That's what my mom kind of used to say, is that the full moon brought the craziness out of her patients. And they definitely did show a huge, significant difference when it was full moon. So I don't know. I don't know, much about it. I just know what I've seen and what I've witnessed. So, all right, you guys, I have changed the name of this Monday class just because of the fact that I have now decided to make this class available for you guys as a thank you when you purchase in my online store from Monday through Friday. If you purchase any order over $35, now that's before tax and shipping, that I will, as a thank you for shopping in my store, and you must use my host code. You have to use my current host code in order for this to come as a gift to you. I will give you guys the 3 cards that I make from the Monday for that week as a thank you to you guys. So that way it's kind of fun, because if you have the set that I am featuring for the week, then it gives you the cut papers, it gives you the scraps, it gives you all the things to be able to make the same cards that I have made for the week. Also, if you don't have the set that I am featuring, there's a million other sets out there that you might already have that are from previous years or from other companies or whatever that you could use with the supplies that I will give to you. It will come with all of the supplies to make the 3 cards that I am showing for the night. It will not come with any bling, but if I use any ribbon, I will give you guys a length of ribbon to use on your card. I will also include the 3 envelopes as well for you to then, once you're done making your cards, you can send those off to your recipients, because that's always, one of those things that you need to have to be able to mail those out. And I want you guys to mail your cards. I want you to give those out to people. What they've always said is a card is a hug with a fold in the middle. And that is so true. And we all kind of, because of social media and because of texting and because of all the things with our phones, we fail to remember that we have a postal system. Granted, does it cost money to send a card? Absolutely. But if it can make somebody's day, then you know what? It's worth the 50 cents or whatever the stamp costs at this point in time. I think that's a pretty low cost to send somebody a card and they have something to cherish for as long as they, want to display it. So I just like to tell you guys that. Hello, Mom. So we are going to go ahead and do the giveaways right now, since I'm talking about that. So let me find my little thing here. And then we'll get back to this stuff, to the business, just because I was just talking about giveaways. So the first card that I'm giving away, this was from last week. We did the handmade hugs, was the set that I featured. That is a stamp set and a punch. It used to be a bundled deal, but now you purchase them separately. And the cool thing about this punch is it can be used with so many different things to be used as a label for a lot of your projects. Hello, Vicky. So for liking last week, this is going to go to Miss Peggy Frost Brandon. And I know you're on here. I was just talking to you. So this lovely little card is going to come to you. Okay, and then last week for commenting, so when you come in here, just drop me a hello, let me know where you're watching from, let me know what your 4th of July plans are. Also, when you share my video, be sure you come back in here and you write in the comments that you've shared it. Because a lot of you guys, and I totally 100% get it, and I want you to keep those on there. You guys have privacy notifications on your page that when you share somebody's page, it won't tell me directly that you've shared it. It tells me that it's been shared, but if you have that privacy on there, it will not tell me your name. So I need you to come back over here and tell me that you've shared this video, so then I can get you entered into the drawing, and we will do that next. But for commenting last week, this is going to go to Miss Nancy Olson. This little beauty right here. So stinking cute. I love that pretty peacock with that new in color, the bubble bath. So this is going to be going out to Nancy Olson. Okay, and then for sharing last week's video, now you have to make sure that you comment here on the Facebook page. I know I put this over on YouTube as well, and I love that you guys share my videos there, but I just don't have quite the way of doing giveaways over there. But I'm going to let you guys know that as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers over on my YouTube channel, I am going to be doing a special giveaway that I'm going to be giving away a stamp set and a matching die to go along with that over on my YouTube. So I definitely would, totally be thankful if you guys do share my videos over on YouTube, because I do need to get my following up over there. But for now, when you share this video here in this Facebook group, this is called the Country Inn. This was one of our celebrations that ended the beginning of this year. This has got some really, really beautiful settings in it. This set here, and this is a photopolymer, or no, this is not photopolymer, I lied. This is a red rubber cling stamp. So it's already got the cushion for you. This is going to go to Miss Kay Wire. So Kay, this is going to be going to you. I thank you so much for sharing my video and giving me that love and support that you guys all do for me. I just thank you guys so much. Okay, so now we're going to get into the business part of this. The current paper pumpkin is for the month of July. This is Fun in the Sun Paper Pumpkin Kit. Get tanning and crafting in the sun this summer. Say hello to summer and get crafting under the sun with this month's kit. The Fun in the Sun Paper Pumpkin Kit includes fun beach designs along with positive words of kindness you'll want to use and share with those you love all summer long. Take your cards to the next level with the fun summertime theme and accordion folds in this kit. And send friends and loved ones uplifting cards to support, encourage, say hello, and more. This is going to come with enough supplies to create 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs and 9 coordinating envelopes. It's going to come with an all-occasion stamp set to support and encourage those you love, a pearlescence back sequence, summertime ephemera pack, pre-cut die cuts, and a Daffodil Delight Stampin' Spot. So this is going to be a super fun kit. If you've got kiddos home on summer break, this would be fun to do with them and let them send cards to, other family members or some of their friends that they haven't seen in, the last month or so. Okay, coming up on July 6th, we are having a revamp on our online exclusives. So on the 6th of July, if you go into my store and you click on the online exclusives, you're gonna see a whole new line of products in there. So they did do a pre-order for us who are demonstrators. I was waiting because it just wasn't something that I was kind of into. I do really like the little sleigh here that I know that was in that pre-order, but I'm not quite done featuring things in the other catalog. I'll wait for Christmas another month. What I'm really waiting for is this punch right here. So come the 6th, I'm going to definitely be in there seeing what Stampin' Up! Has to offer. And this little red truck, as you guys might know, I collect little Christmas red trucks with a little tree sticking out of it. So this is exactly what I'm waiting for. And clearly you can see up here, there's a little truck. So I can't wait. Hello, Courtney. I can't wait to see what they're coming out with. So just know that that is coming on the 6th. Now, also starting July 6th, when you make your online exclusive purchases, every $50 you spend, you're going to get a $5 coupon that you're going to get a code sent right to your email. So the way that works is starting the 6th, when you go in and place your order. Once you hit your $50, now that is in the product before tax and shipping, you're going to earn a bonus coupon. So that coupon, and you can earn as many coupons as there is to earn. There's no limit on how many coupons, so you can come back and you can continue making orders through the month. And like I said, every $50 spent, you're going to get a $5 coupon. Now, I want you guys to know that they are going to send that to your email. You're going to get this code. Now, say in your order on the 6th that you place and you order a bunch of those new online products, or you find something in the clearance rack that you want to add to your order. And now say you've spent $150. Now, that means you're gonna earn 3 coupons. Okay, those 3 coupons are gonna come to you in an email. You're gonna get all 3 of those. Now, say on the 15th, you go back into the store and you order something else. That, say your order is $55, okay? Cool. You're gonna earn another coupon. Now that is not going to be included, obviously, because it's a later date. So you're going to need to keep track of all of those emails that that they send you that have those codes in there, because that's going to be your responsibility to hang on to those so you can redeem them in August. Now, coming August, you can go in and you can pick however many, coupons that you have, make your regular order, and then you can add those coupon codes in to the online store and you can save $5. And so depending on however many codes you have is however much you're going to, say if you've got $25 in codes, then that means in August you can redeem those and save $25. How cool is that? So just know that that starts on the 6th. Mystery stamping for the month of July I'm going to put the supply list out on the 12th. We will actually have the live Facebook class here on the 19th. So I need to create a event for that, which I haven't done yet because I wasn't quite sure what day I was going to do it yet. So the 19th, we will actually do the Facebook Live, and then that will give you guys a full week to get your cards made and get them submitted over on Pink Barn Stampers group, which is my private group. And I will do the drawing for the winner of that. So the way you get entered is post a picture of the card that you have made using the same design or technique that I show you guys when we do the Mystery Stamping Live. And then on the 26th, I will pick a winner from those of you who submit your cards, and you will get a little gift from me. So that will be on the 26th when we do that. So don't forget, the actual live is on the 19th. I will put the supply list out on the 12th. So watch for that. I have my July kit is available for you guys now. This is my to-go kit. I am using the Timeless Arrangements. I have created 4 beautiful, stunning, amazing cards for you guys. Now you're going to get enough supplies with this to make 2 of each of these cards. I also include a quarter of a roll of the, a third of a roll of the, both the silver and the gold trim. Also, you're going to get a half pack of the rhinestones. You're going to get a half pack of the brushed brass butterflies. Don't try to say that real fast. So I'm going to show you guys these cards really quick so you guys can see how gorgeous these are. Now, 2 of these cards are going to be in the basic white, and the other 2 cards are in very vanilla. Now, I know it's hard to see in this photo because my printer doesn't show the best of coloring, but it gives you guys at least kind of the idea. So these are the 2 that are in the very vanilla. And then I've done the gold on those, and those have the brushed brass butterflies. So that's those 2 cards. And then the white ones, I did the silver on those with the rhinestones as well on these ones because it just is kind of a brighter. So just know that you will get everything that you need to make those 8 cards. So the only thing you would need to have is make sure you have the Timeless Arrangements stamp set and the coordinating dies to create this, and you can create all of these cards because of the fact that I will give you everything else that you need to make those cards. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Patty. So you can find all the details about everything that I've talked about over on my blog. If you go to promotions will tell you about bonus days and tell you about the online exclusives. Now, if you go to my kits, that's where you're going to read about the Timeless Arrangement kits. You're also going to read about my weekly kits that I offer. Now, this week's kit we are doing is I am using tonight the seasonal branches. Now, this is a very, very neat set and very versatile. You've got the branches, you've got 2 different size branches, but then you've got these really neat elements that you've got either flowers, you've got leaves for like more of the fall. You've got these little berries right here that would be so cool with that bird. The little flowers are more like your springtime when flowers are coming out, or you can just use the plain for winter, or you can do the snowberries for winter time. Just a very, very neat set here. So I'm going to play with this tonight for you guys and show you some very, very cool and beautiful cards using this in case you have this and you're just kind of stumped and you just don't know exactly what to do with it. The dies are wonderful. So not only do you have the dies to cut out your stamped images, but they also gave you some flowers here. This is going to cut out 3 flowers, and they actually have the embossed look to them. They're really, really cool standalone flowers. I'm going to actually be using the leaves that do that tonight. So you'll see that. You'll see the difference between a stamped and die cut leaf and then the die cut leaf. And look how cool that is. That's gonna do 5 leaves in one shebang. So I really like when they do that. So you're not like, say you need, you know, for your project, you need 10 of the leaves. Well, otherwise you'd be standing there all day long doing one leaf, you know, this gives you 5 at one time. Also, that being said, when you stamp your flowers, they have given you 2 of the leaf dies. So again, when you're stamping multiple, you can die cut multiples. Thank you for sharing, Melanie. Same with the flowers. You get 3 of the flower dies. So when you punch out the flowers, you can die cut 3 of those at a time, which is fabulous. Your leaves, your berries, and your flowers all have these specific dies that match with your stamps. You've got this, even this little tiny flower here that is still not completely opened yet. There's a little die right here that will match up with that. You've got the little apple here, and you've got the 2. Okay, so what's really cool is if you stamp these branches and you want to, oh, that light's really glaring on that. If you stamp these branches here and you want to die cut them as a full piece, you can do so. Or they even gave you the small one and the big one, which I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a little bit, because we're going to actually use the big one. This makes just the branch. So you don't stamp first. You just die cut this out, and it makes a really, really neat little branch for you. So I want you to be aware of that. If you haven't looked at this, you might want to go back and give it another look, because you're going to get 19 dies in this, and you're going to get 18 stamps here. So there is a lot. You've got some really neat sentiments in here. You've got get well wishes, you're in my thoughts, happy birthday wishes, love, thanks, may you feel sheltered in the love that surrounds you, and sending an abundance of, so you can put thanks or love. So very, very cool stamp set here. So let's go ahead and get started on our first card. So let me show you a preview of what our first card is going to look like. Now I'm going to make this very simple but elegant card here. I just love the way this turned out. Now, I'm going to show you a kind of a variation of this. I will go ahead and complete the card the way it is, but I just want to show you before I complete it another way that you can do this. Thank you, Courtney, for sharing. So that's the card that we're going to make. That's the first one. And so when your kit comes to you, and like I said, if you make a $35 order in my store before shipping and tax, you're going to get enough supplies to make these 3 cards that I'm making today. So this is the way that I lay the cards out. I put each card's recipes, I guess you would say, your supplies, in each individual envelope. So then when you go to open up your envelope, everything doesn't just spill out and you're like, oh my Lord, what goes with what? I don't even understand what's going on here. This way, it's all laid out. When you open up your envelope, your pieces are all there together. So then you know that's card number 1. Then you know card number 2, card number 3. Okay, just so I clarify that. So there's no, miscommunication, things get lost, whatever. Okay, so we need the card base. This is basic white thick. We're going to score that at 4.5, or 4.25. Now all the measurements and dimensions and everything will be over on my blog later on, when I can take still photos of these finished cards and get everything up for you. So you can check back tomorrow. There will be a replay of this video on my blog. And then you can see all the details about using my host code in order to get this as your thank you gift. Oh, what am I kicking? Oh, it's my mom's leg of her other chair on the other side of the desk. I was like, I'm kicking something. What's going on here? And I had to have coffee tonight, so bear with me. I also need a piece of basic white. This is not the thick, this is just our regular basic white. That is what we're gonna do our stamping on. I'm going to need to get my, since this is a photopolymer stamp set, this is photopolymer, so this is the clear. So when you use this, when I showed you the red rubber stamp like this, there is a cushion between the rubber and the back of the stamp. So for that, it gives you a nice impression when you stamp that down. Now, since these do not have a cushion behind them because they're just going straight to your block, you need to have some kind of cushion behind it. So we sell these little piercing mats. And so I just wrap it with paper and then stick some tape on the back. And then that gives me the cushion that I need to be able to stamp. How long have I been stamping? Oh my goodness, this is gonna age me. Well, I moved down here in 2012, and I was doing it when I lived in Oregon for probably 15 years. So I'm gonna say roughly around, between scrapbooking and stamping, it's been like 25 years, because I got into it right before my oldest child was born. I started doing it when my cousin moved in with us. She kind of got me turned on to it. So yeah, it's been roughly about 25 years, because my daughter is going to be, what is she going to be? She'll be 22 this coming up year. So yeah, probably about like 25 years or so. Yep. Whew. Like I said, that's going to age me. That's okay though. Okay, so I'm going to set this piece aside for the moment, and you had my brain have to work there. I have a scrap of basic white, and I have a scrap of the old olive. Now this is what I'm going to do my leaves in. So let's go ahead and do some of our stamping first. Okay, I'm going to grab all my blocks out here and see exactly what I'm going to need. And we need the little bird. Okay, the little bird. I need the little tree trim or branch here. Now, when you go to die cut these, I'm gonna tell you something that you might already know, but if not, do not do what I just did and stick this on here, because you have the, power to manipulate this around. And say if you move it over here, that is not going to line up with your die when you go to stamp that down. The die is not going to line up with that, because as you can see, that die right here has a curve to this that the stamp naturally has. And so if you lay that on there like that, like the bottom part of your branch is going to be sticking this way, and you're going to be like, oh my Lord, what is going on here? Okay, let me tell you a trick. Hello, Kim. I'm going to tell you a trick to keep your stamp in the right position. Just lay it down. Lay it down, stamp side down, and then it will get its natural shape that it needs from when it is inside of our packaging. Then lay your block on the back. Then now when you go to take your die, once that is stamped, it got its natural position back, and it will line up perfectly for you. Just to let you guys know that. You may already know that, and it may sound, God, why does everybody tell me this? Well, because you really need to know, because it can be very frustrating when you're constantly stamping something and you try to run it through your die cutting machine and you're like, what the heck is going on here? Why is this not lining up? Well, that's probably why, because we have the ability to manipulate that and it won't be straight on our thing. So just let you guys know. Okay, then I need my little apple there. Okay, so what we're gonna do first is we are going to stamp our bird, and our bird is getting stamped in our Memento Black on our scrap here. Okay, and then our little apple is going to get stamped as well, just like that. And then we can cover that up And we're gonna do some coloring on these before we get it all going. So I'm going to grab, let me get all of my pens that I brought out over here. I need my Sweet Sorbet. Now light and dark Sweet Sorbet, make sure that's the light, yep. And then I need my Petaled Path Dark and Light. And then I need my Lemon Lolly Dark and Light. And then what else do I need? I think that was it. Yep. Okay. We are going to need our Early Espresso ink because that's what we're going to do our branch in, but we don't need that for this part yet. So let's go ahead and color our little images here. So using the dark Sweet Sorbet, I'm just coming in here on the little shadowing marks that Stampin' Up! Has put on their images, and I'm just darkening that up a little bit. And then using the light, I'm going to come back in and just go over this little apple. Okay, like that, and maybe kind of darken this up just a little bit up here on the top and around the bottom. There we go. Now on our little bird, I'm going to use the Pebbled Path. Now I'm going to use the dark first to again come in here and kind of accent those little shadowing marks that they have put in the stamp. Just very lightly on those. Oops, I forgot his little booty. Okay, and then taking the light, I'm just going to go over that now and just soften that up a little bit. And if you use kind of a flicking motion, you're not putting full pressure of ink on there, and it just kind of goes on a little bit lighter than if you were just to go all in force and color. A little flicking motion is what I like to use to go a little lighter on that. Now with my Lolly Lemon, I'm gonna use the dark first and do some darker on his underbelly where the shadow would be, and over here by his leaves, by his feathers. I don't think my little guy has leaves on him. He might though, but. Okay, then with the light, like that. Super, super cute, okay? We are going to grab our, I'm gonna use the mini boho blue today. Such a beautiful little machine, and I love that it is blue. Now you can find this machine in my online store already. This is available if you are into this gorgeous boho blue. And then we have our big machine, which is white, and then we have the other little mini, which is also white. Okay, let me get out my dies here. And we are gonna do these two images first. So there is that little tweeter, little bird, and then I need the apple. Now, another little tip that I will tell you to make sure that you get your stem in on the top of this, there's a little tiny hole in the stem of the apple die. You can see your black stamped image through that if you have it on there straight. So I just kind of move it around a bit till I see that. And then I know that I'm going to die cut that out as well. And then we're gonna lay this down and push those together, keep those in place, and then run those through. Oops, my apple shifted a little bit, but it'll be okay. Okay, there's our bird, there's our apple. And then we're going to do those little leaves now. So grabbing the little leaves that have that already like little embossed look to them. I'm gonna lay that on my little piece of old olive, pressing that down. And the nice thing about this is you don't have anything stamped, so you don't need to worry about lining anything up. But you do have to worry about losing them because they are tiny. Okay, so let me get my take a pick tool, flip this around to the pointy end. Now, if you don't have a take your pick tool, again, a tool that everyone has to have. This really helps with releasing those pieces that might get stuck in your dies. So as you can see, I'm gonna hold this up a little bit higher here. See how it's got the little embossed look on those? So that's what adds. See that little leaf right there? Let me see if I use a piece of white. Maybe it'll be easier to see. See how that leaf has the little impression, and you can see the little like legs of the leaf. Isn't that so cool? So dies that have that impression in there will leave the impression when it cuts it out. Okay, so let's move all those so we don't lose anything. And like I said, we have the flowers that do that same impression as well, if you can see that. Okay. Get that out of the way. Okay, now let's bring, this is going to go on the front of our card. Now that apple's gonna drive me nuts, so I'm gonna probably have to recut one out because I can't handle that that's crooked. I thought I could, but it's pretty far-fetched there. So we're gonna have to fix that. Okay, so I need to take my sentiment that I'm going to choose, and I'm going to do the You're in My Thoughts. And that is right here. Again, lay that down so it stays straight. That's going to get stamped in Memento, our black ink. Now this is going to go about an inch up from the bottom. Just like that. And I give it a few seconds to marinate into that paper and really get a good image in there. Let me grab a chamois and clean that off. Okay, we need this branch. And this is when we need our early espresso, because we really want a beautiful, dark, rich brown to this. And then this is just gonna come right up here, kind of just hanging like that, kind of in like the lower middle, I guess you would say. It's not quite in the middle. Okay, there we go. All right, let's get that out of the way. And then we are going to, I'm gonna re-stamp the apple because I just don't like the way that one got very off-centered. So I always provide a big enough piece of scrap for you that when you go to stamp, if your first image doesn't come out, well, it gives you a chance to stamp a couple more times to get your image correct. Because I understand, even the seasons of stampers can have boo-boos. I get it. So I want to be able to let you kind of play around to get your card the way you want it and looking, like you took your time and you did it correctly. So You know, I like to give you enough to play around with. Hello, Nympha. Okay, there we go. That looks better. So now let's die cut this with me being able to see what I'm doing. Because when I have this on an angle, let's move all those little leaves so I don't lose any of those. Okay, I think that is good. Just like that, as long as I don't touch it. Now sandwich that in there and let's roll it through. That's better. Okay, I like that one better. We're gonna toss this one. Okay, now we're going to put this card together. I also am going to be adding a few of the 2023-2025 in color dots. I'm going to use that pebbled path because it just goes really well with our bird. Okay, so this is where I was telling you that I'm going to show you both kind of ways that you can make this card. If you don't want to put leaves on there, if you want this to be more of a winter card, we are going to simply add our bird right like that on that branch and just hang our apple. Okay, it could be just as simple as that. That is a gorgeous card, right? You can take the apple off. Still very gorgeous. Okay, I'm going to add the apple and I'm going to add the leaves. Now you see it the way it is at the moment, but if I start adding, well, first I'm going to adhere these two little characters first because I'm going to pop them up. So let's go ahead and get those popped up. So a gorgeous card, I just have to let you guys know, does not have to be full of things. Very simple cards can be just as gorgeous as a card that has been all done up, okay? Just so you guys know, because I know some people are always like, my cards are too simple. No, there's no such thing as too simple. Cards can be beautiful any way that you create them. They're being created by you, so therefore that makes them beautiful just on its own. Okay, so we just pop those up. Now I'm going to add my glue and just add a little dot of glue. Simple and elegant, absolutely. Yep. Okay, I'm gonna take this one and just kind of act like it's coming out of the top of that little apple there, like that. Just kind of staggering these around on here. Put this one kind of coming down out of there. I'm going to lay that one right on top of it, but have it angled out to the side, just like that. And then this one here is going to go behind that bird. Coming right out like that. Okay, there we go. I like that. Then we're simply going to take this, add this to our card base. Now you could even pop up this layer here to give it some more dimension, but I like it kind of just flat and on its own. This is one of those cheaper cards to mail because you're not adding a bunch of depth to it, because sometimes the more layers that you add to your card, the harder it is to go through the post office, their little machine that they run things through. You know how you get that little wavy thing up on the top of your envelope? When your envelope comes to you, your stamp will be here, and then there's those little squigglies across there. They put those through a machine. And if they can go through there, then it's just one stamp and the weight. But if you start adding 2 layers, it gets too puffy and then it won't go through that machine. Then they want more money from you and they'll send the card back to you. So you don't want that to happen because you want it to get to the person that you're sending it to. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some of these little pretties on here. Just like that. And there is our beautiful card. Very simple but elegant, as Kim put that. And then on the inside, I would probably just put, you know, maybe this little branch coming out the side, just to add a little bit of following that front of the card over onto the inside. Just like that. Perfect. So then we're not putting too much in there. And then you could add your sentiment to the inside. Since this one says, "You are in my thoughts," you know, you could send this as a get well card. You can send it as a sympathy card. You know, you can add whatever sentiment you want to the inside. But it's just a gorgeous, easy way to use this set. Okay. So let's move on to card number 2. Okay, card number 2. Let me move those because we don't need those. And I will bring in all of these cards at the end and let you see them side by side so you can see the elements of each card that I have done. Okay, but let me get some of this stuff out of the way. Okay. So card number 2 that we're making is this one here. Now, this is using one of our designer series paper. I just really like the way that this is kind of that soft, subtle paper on the background, but it still has some element to it. So we're gonna go ahead and create that one. I did already cut some of those out just so we're not sitting here. You guys are waiting for me to cut everything out, but we'll just go ahead and do this and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so for this, make sure I got everything out of my envelope here. My card base, this is that beautiful rich, this is Blackberry Bliss. This reminds me so much of that. We had the Mary Merlot, and I loved that rich Mary Merlot, and I loved it with the old olive. I think those 2 colors are so beautiful together, and that's what kind of inspired this card that I created. Okay, you're gonna need a scrap piece of crumb cake. You're going to need some scraps of white because we're gonna be doing some stamping, but what we're going to be doing on this is let's go ahead and bring up our, well, I'm not going to die cut because I've already die cut it out, but I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. Now, this is where I was saying that we're going to take that stem that looks like it's just going to cut the stem out or the branch out for us. This is not one that we're going to stamp first. We're just going to go run this through our machine. And when we do, we're gonna get this very, very delicate and dainty little branch here. Now it's very dainty. You have to be careful so you don't bend it and break it because that can happen very easily. Okay, so there's the first piece that we need with our crumb cake. Then we are going to be using, this is our crumb cake. This is 4 by 5 1/4. That's going to be our next layer on our base. And then this comes from, believe it or not, that comes from our Let's Go Fishing Designer Series paper. As you can see, it is this paper right here. So just to give you kind of a bigger shot of that, it is this piece right here. So it's got kind of this like world map kind of look to it. And I just thought it was very subtle, but it still had enough on it that really kind of looks well with this card. So that is what I'm using. So it's this one right here. The back side is that blue water look. So that is called the Let's Go Fishing paper. Okay, now this piece here, this is going to be, there's a little gnat in my face. This is, let me see. I can't even think at the moment. This is 5 1/8 by 4 7/8, or 3 7/8. So that is our next layer. Ooh, darn little bug. Jeez Louise. I didn't ask you to come be in my face. Okay, so that's gonna hang off of there. Then let's grab our scraps of white. This is where you're gonna see the difference between those two leaves that I was telling you about, okay? So let's grab our little block here and take our apple off since we're done with that. And let's get a leaf on here. So we're gonna use our little single leaf right here. Okay, we need to get that mounted. We're gonna use our flowers. So we're gonna get that mounted right on here. Okay, and then we need our single flower. And then we need this little tiny little closed flower that I was telling you about. And then we need our little branch. And let's just put that on here. And then I'm gonna need some crumb cake ink. Okay, on here, while we have this, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm gonna stamp my crumb cake first to get that done and out of the way. So this is just gonna come right across here, stamping right on that Designer Series paper, just like that. This has already been cut out with our crumb cake. Okay. So now we are going to move that for the moment until I start getting some other things done here. So let's do some of our leaves. We're gonna need 8 leaves. So I'm using my old olive. Okay, so we need 8 of those. Then with our little flower, we need our Blackberry Bliss, and we need to stamp that 3 times. Okay, and I don't think that is going to, oh, you know what? It will fit on there. Woohoo. Then we need the full floral piece, and we're going to actually just put that right on there like that. So then we can color these all at the same time. Okay, leave those over there knowing that they still have ink on them because I'm so great at sticking my hands over in a stamp that has ink on it. Okay. Then we will stamp this little closed flower in just a minute once we're done here with this. So let's go ahead and grab, I need my light Blackberry Bliss, and I need my light, is that it? No, I need my light Old Olive. So these are gonna be tone on tone, but they're lighter than what I've just stamped them in. So we're gonna come in here and we're just going to color these all in. Now, I have done you guys a huge solid, and I have already done these and die cut these out, so you do not have to sit here and watch me tediously die cut all of these out. I did that this morning, but I just want to show you what that looks like with the light color colored on your already stamped image. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to do this has already been stamped in Old Olive. So now we're just going to take our light Old Olive Stampin' Blends here. And this looks beautiful on that. Let me do a couple of them just so you can see. Now, the only part that I do need to make sure I color and get die cut out is this big piece over here, because I did not do that ahead of time. So let's worry about getting that colored. The wind has definitely picked up this evening. My mom's chimes are going nuts out there. I'm sure you guys can probably hear them gonging out on the patio. She's big time into wind chimes. She has always, ever since I was little, she's collected different wind chimes and like the beach glass. She's got a couple of wind chimes with that beach glass, and it does make a really neat sound. I do have to admit that, but I mean, I'm not that big into wind chimes. It kind of annoys me after a while, but she does love it. And there are such different sounds out there depending on the different things that those wind chimes are made out of. For Mother's Day, I think last year, I got her these, they light up, they're solar. And because we have nonstop sun down here in Tucson, Arizona, they have like major solar powered abilities to them. And I got her these little hummingbirds that they're clear and they light up with little LED lights using the solar panel, but they're kind of trickled down where they cling together too. And even though they're acrylic, they make a kind of a neat little sound also. Okay, so we are getting there. So I really love the look of this with that darker image that was stamped and then coming in with the lighter really gives it a pretty effect. Wind chimes remind you of your grandma's house. Yeah, you know, my grandma had them all over the place too, and maybe that's exactly why my mom likes them, is because her mom had them all over the place, and maybe it reminds her, you know, of her mom. So that could absolutely be. Oh, cool, Peggy. That's funny. Yeah, they're pretty neat, especially at night when they light up all those different colors. It's pretty cool to watch. So have you guys all hit your summer weather where you guys are at? I know Peggy, the last week when we talked, you were still very cold there in Michigan. So I do know that they were saying that we are having a heat wave all over the US. So I was just wondering, has it hit you yet? I mean, I know you guys deal with that. Ugh, horrendous humidity. So yikes. You guys probably like it to be cooler so you're not dealing with the sweaty, sticky. All right, we are on our last flower here. And I would say that I would go quick, but then if you go quick, then I go out of the lines and then it doesn't come out how we want it. So I do have to, you know, take my time coloring those. Woohoo, 82. Well, that would be perfect weather right there. 82 is like glorious. That is like the perfect temperature from where I'm coming from. So here is those leaves. I color those. So now you can see kind of the darker color that it's been stamped in. And then taking that light old olive just really gives it a pretty effect. Same with those flowers on there. So you can see that more close up. Okay, so I have already cut out and colored the single flowers along with the leaves because like I said, it would take, we'd be here all night long waiting for those things to get die cut. So those are there, as long as I don't lose any of them. But I'm gonna go ahead and die cut that flower. And so as you can see, I am using the mini on everything that I am die cutting out of here. So this is one of those sets that will coordinate with your mini machine. And so therefore, if you travel and you like to take your crafting on the go, I love sets that do that because then you're not having to lug that big machine around. You can pack this little machine quite easily. Let me grab a piece of tape here and get this off because it is going to move around a bit and I need it to be steady so we can get that to die cut. Okay, just like that. Ugh. I think I had my plate too far down and it just did not want to go through there. So let's try this again. There we go. I didn't have my top plate in far enough, so it was not grabbing the little roller to pull that through. Okay, so let's take this off here. Now this is one solid stamp, which is pretty cool the way that it comes out when it die cuts. So it's one big solid piece, so it just lays right over your branch. All right, so let's bring our card in here and let's do our thing. I am going to stamp the sentiment on here, so let's get that pulled out. So I am going to be using the sentiment, "May you feel sheltered in the love that surrounds you." Such a beautiful sentiment. And then we have our little flower, we have that. Okay, now we can go ahead and get to it. So that is going to get placed right up there. Make sure my stamped image will fit. So I am just going to apply a little bit of glue to this branch. get this put on here. Now this is just gonna come down and out like that. Again, it's one of those things that you're gonna wind up manipulating. So just play with it and get it up there. So I'm going to pop up these flowers. Put that in just a couple of different areas there. That'll work. Okay, and then I'm going to turn this where this little opening is facing down, and then I'm just going to place this. Well, that's kind of a weak spot there. I'm just going to place this on my branches like so. Okay. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take these 3, but first I'm going to stamp using that Blackberry Bliss. I'm going to stamp on here with these little flowers. Now this is those little closed flowers. Just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to do my sentiments since we already have this ink open. And we're going to put this right down here, giving that a few seconds to get really into that paper, especially since this is designer series paper. Okay, let's take our little flowers. I'm going to put this one straight down with glue. Okay, like that. I'm going to take this one here, put it right up here, like that. Okay, and then this one I'm going to pop up like that. And this one is just going to get put right like here. And then I'm going to take 2 of these little leaves. I'm going to put that one going up off that way. And this one coming down between the flowers here. Okay, and then we're going to grab these other ones. Hopefully we have 6 of them left. Okay, we do. Cool. And we're going to glue those down. Put that one right there. So you are in Three Rivers, Michigan, Kim is, and on vacation, and it finally dried out and heated up. Well, good. I mean, hopefully it's not too hot, but enjoyable when you're on vacation, right? You don't want to go on vacation and freeze. I mean, now me, I'm okay with going on vacation and being cold because I like the cold weather. We have booked a room up in northern, my parents have a timeshare, so they booked us a room up right before Thanksgiving, going up to northern Arizona and spending the week up there and kind of hanging out and playing in the snow, because we don't get snow all that often here in Tucson. Every once in a blue moon will we actually get some snow on the ground, but it doesn't stick around, and it's not like something you could go, you know, really play in and build a snowman and all that. So we are going to go up, like I said, the week before, or no, it's the first week of November, I believe. We're going to go up there and spend the week up there and just have fun and let the kids enjoy, you know, some cooler weather and playing in snow and, yeah, just doing the things. Getting out of town for a little bit. That'll be our vacation, because we don't go on vacation in the summer because it's too hot around here. Now, that would probably be the most ideal time is during summertime. Like, we have a lot of snowbirds, and they come here to Tucson in the winter, and then they head back home to wherever their home is during the summertime, because it's just too hot here. They don't want to be here during the heat. I definitely don't blame them. If I had another house somewhere, I'd be going to it too. Okay, so then we're going to put this right to this crumb cake layer. Now, it's only 1/8 of an inch bigger, so there's just going to be a very, very small margin around that. But then it's going to kind of tie in all of our crumb cake all kind of together. And then we're going to adhere that straight to our card base. Okay, and I am using my iridescent rhinestones for this one. Okay, I am going to add one of the medium ones. No, I need one. Oh, that is a small one. Okay, I need a small one on this flower here. Okay, do another little small one right in the center of this one. Now, I know those are kind of hard for you guys to see on camera, but I will reassure you they are blingy, and they grab the colors of whatever papers you're using. So I absolutely love these embellishments for that reason. As you can see them sitting on here, whatever color you kind of put them next to, they're going to really kind of show. Like, see, if you see the green, you're going to really grab some green out of there. If you see some purples, you're going to see a lot of purple in there. Same with this. You're going to notice kind of a darker, that blackberry. These are really cool embellishments because they go on any project. But I'm going to hold this up so you can kind of see where I've put those on a few of those flowers just to grab some of those little bling elements on there. It just really kind of adds a lot to that. Sorry, guys. Got a little frog in my throat. Okay, so that is that. So let's get an inside for this piece. Or for this card, and see what we're gonna do for that. I think I'm going to maybe kind of do that same thing with the branch, and I'm gonna bring this right down here. I'm gonna bring another one up here, and then one more up like this, okay? Then I'm gonna take that little tiny closed flower that hasn't quite opened yet. And I'm gonna put one there and one hanging off here. Same on this one. Okay, like that. And then we can take the big flower and just put that kind of right in the center of all of that. Like that. I think that looks good. We could even add the leaf if we wanted to. But then we might be getting a little crowded in there. As I stick my finger in it. I told you guys, I cannot have red ink sitting out at all. My hands are attracted to it and I always have to stick my fingers in it. It's just a thing. Okay, I'm just gonna do that and we're gonna call that good and leave the inside alone. Now I was thinking maybe I like it like that, but no, I'm gonna go like that. Okay. Okay, and we're gonna put that in the inside here. Okay, you could come in here and color, you know, this flower. Ugh, I don't like that end. You can color these flowers up to make them kind of pretty. And I'll come back and do that later. I'm just gonna finish this one up since I've colored it. And I'll do those other two later. When I go to take photos of this, you'll see that those I've colored. So there is card number 2. Very, very neat, beautiful. Love those colors together. Okay, so let me set that aside. As I throw everything. All right, let's get down to card number 3. Now, card number 3 is going to be a fun fold. Okay, our card base is, this is blueberry bushel, okay? So that is what we're using on this one. I need to get out my paper trimmer here, and we are gonna do some scoring. So what we need to do first is we need to move this over. Now this is 8.5 by 5.5. The first thing we need to do is we need to make a score mark on the 2 1/8, and then on 4 1/4. Okay, just like that. This is a very fun blue. Absolutely, Kim. It is gorgeous. Okay, then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, we're gonna fold that in on itself and burnish it. Now, sometimes your cards don't always line up. That's okay. We're gonna just kind of finagle it here when I go to burnish. Just like that. And then we scored on the 2 1/8. We're gonna just simply flip that back on itself, just like that. So now we have like a neat little, kind of like what's gonna come in that paper pumpkin, a little accordion fold. Now we need to have a couple of other things going on here. I am going to be bringing in on this 4th card, I'm going to be bringing in, this is called the Stylish Shapes. Now I am using both of the bigger size circles. So for our first circle that we need, I need a scrap of the blueberry bushel, and I'm going to do the biggest circle in that. And when I do, I will get a very, very cool big circle here. Then the next size down, I'm going to do it on a scrap of basic white. And when I do, I'm going to get my next circle. Okay, and then that's all I need. So if you have a punch, if you have other layering circles, whatever, anything will work. This is just what I chose to use here. I'm gonna need those. I'm going to be using also our new, this is, I shoved it all the way to the back of this drawer. This has got all of those, this is called Glorious Gingham, and it's got the majority of our colors that have just been in our refresh. So you've got blue, berry burst, blueberry bushel, lemon lime twist, pecan pie, and pretty peacock in here. Now this, you get, I'm not sure how many pieces of each, but you can see that they are all this gingham. I'm trying to let you see all of the colors without pulling it completely out of there. So one side of your paper is the big white check, and then on the other side is this beautiful little small gingham. Now you get that in all those colors, and you're gonna get, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hold on. You're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of each of the colors. And they're all the same with those same ginghams on there. That's why it's called Glorious Ginghams, but such gorgeous colors in this pack. And like I said, the back side is all that smaller gingham print. So very, very cool, great colors, great little 6x6 pack. I am going to be using the blue, and I'm going to be placing that there and right on there. Now, like I said, the sizes will be on my blog, but that is a 2 by 5 3/8, both pieces. So let's go ahead and adhere those on there. And I forgot to show you guys the card that we're making. I just realized I didn't even show you. So as soon as I get this glued on here, I'll show you what we're working with. So here is the last card that we're going to be making. Very, very cute. And I just love the colors. Okay, so again, with the 1/8 of an inch showing of your cardstock. Okay, now I need to grab this. I'm going to grab my blueberry bushel. I'm also going to be grabbing my white circle, and I need to have a mini blender brush. So I'm using one of my minis, and I'm just very, very, very lightly rubbing it in my ink. Then I'm going to pretty much rub it all the way off onto a scrap. I want just the most subtle of blue on this little white circle, just to be as kind of a background, so my bird doesn't just look like he's floating, or the branch doesn't look like it's floating on just a white scrap piece of paper. So there we go. Very, very subtle, as you can see, but it almost looks like wisps of clouds. It turns out very, very cool. Okay, so that's all I need on there. Then I need a scrap piece of white. I also need a white inside of my card. This is 4 by 5 1/4. This is gonna go on here, but we're gonna stamp on that, so we're gonna just hold tight on that. I'm gonna be working with my scrap piece first. Now this is when I'm gonna show you the difference of the last big branch that I showed you, and how I showed you it just being die cut and not stamped. We're gonna actually stamp it this time and die cut it with the larger die cut. So you see the difference in those two different ways of it being done. Okay, so there's my scrap. What do I need? I need my early espresso. Make sure that's good and inked up. Okay. Okay, I need that. Just like that, gorgeous. Then I need my big set of leaves, the full stamp of leaves, just like that. Ah, I almost stuck that in that ink. Did you see that? Eek, that would have been very bad. Okay, this I'm going to stamp in my tuxedo. Black ink. Okay, and just go like that. Give that a second to marinate. Beautiful, comes out gorgeously. And then I'm gonna use the bird and just stamp that. And then we need to color and die cut. Okay, so set that stuff aside. Now we're going to get to coloring our bird. So for this one, I am using my light lemon lime twist, or no, dark lemon lime twist. I'm also going to be using, oh shoot, I think I forgot the blueberry burst. Let's hope my mom has them. I think I forgot that color. Oh shoot. Well, I'm not gonna color in the bird because I forgot the other color over at my house. Dang it. And I don't, oh, hold on. Nope, that's Night of Navy. I don't think she has, I don't think she bought the end colors because she knows I did. Well, I'm not gonna be coloring the bird, but I'll show you the other one because I can't believe out of all the colors, I forgot that one, but you know what, it happens. And then I am going to be doing the belly in the light bubble bath. So I will show you the finished one so you can see it.
What do you need?
You don't have it because you didn't get those ones because I got them.
Oh.
The refresh colors in the Stampin' Right markers.
No.
I mean, not Stampin' Right, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, whatever I'm trying to say. Stampin' Blends. Jeez Louise. Words are hard. Anyways, we're going to take the lemon lime twist and we are going to come in here and we're going to color all these little leaves. Now these colors are gorgeous together. The lemon lime with that blueberry bushel is very, very gorgeous. Okay. It's so hard when I'm loading my stuff up because I will go through my little basket over here when I go to bring stuff over here because I've already pre-made the card once and that's how I take the photos to show you guys. And when I'm thinking that I have it all, sure the heck, I have to forget something. I was trying to think, is there another color that would be close to it? But there's really not. Because I was even thinking, is the azure close to it? But nope, it's a much brighter blue. And because I've already got one card done, it's just as easy to just show you that one. Because you know, you guys all know how to color, so it's just a matter of you coloring your bird. Okay, so there's all those leaves. Now on our bird, you need to use your imagination here and assume that I did his feathers, the backside of his body, in the blueberry bushel. And then we're gonna use the bubble bath. This is the light bubble bath, and we're just gonna do his belly. So just imagine that blueberry bushel against this pink. Very, very gorgeous, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to, when your blueberry bushel has kind of dried, you're gonna come in with your Wink of Stella. Completely optional. If you don't have a Wink of Stella, then there's many of other different kind of glitter pins out there. Then you can just lightly take your Wink of Stella and go over the feathery part, that blueberry bushel. And like I said, I'll show you on the other card when we're done here, so you guys can really see that gorgeous effect on that blue. What was sold out? Anyone think that Punch will still be available after the first? You know I've heard from God knows how many other demonstrators that they're all waiting for that truck. So you're probably spot on with it probably being sold out probably within the first 24 hours. I mean, I'm assuming that could definitely be a thing, because there are so many people that have been eyeballing that little truck. Okay, we're going to die cut these out. Oops, I took too many of those off. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do these leaves. Stick this on here like that. Okay, and I'm just gonna put a little tape on there to hold that in place. Then I need, okay, so this is where I was showing you. We used the more of the tiny little delicate branch. Now I'm gonna use the bigger branch that now will die cut our stamped image. So this is where I need to line this all up, make sure that's going to work. Yep. And then now let me grab another piece of tape to hold that in place. Okay, I'm going to die cut both of those. Now here in Tucson, going back to thinking of the 4th of July, our casino here, its anniversary is on the 3rd of July. So every 3rd of July, they do a huge fireworks show at the casino. It's really kind of cool. We've gone and we've stayed at the hotel there at the casino before and watched it. One of our friends got tickets for it. They do an amazing show, but it's kind of cool because every year it's their anniversary. And so you're not, I mean, there is a big crowd there, and some people do that for their 4th of July fireworks show. But it's just one of those other options that you can do that. I'm not going to cut this bird out yet because I just want to wait until I can color that and put the Wink of Stella on there. I mean, I guess I could probably die cut it and color it when I get home. Maybe I'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and die cut it since we're here. So let me grab the bird because it wouldn't be, you know, hard to run a marker over that once it is stuck on there. Since I'm goofy and I forgot. But by golly, I remembered everything else. Okay, let's take that off. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Let me get my die put on there. And now I'm going to close these dies up just because we are done using that for now. I am going to stamp on my inside piece here. I'm going to be using the Get Well Wishes sentiment for this. and the blueberry bushel. And I am just going to stamp this down in the right-hand corner over here. Just like that. Oh my goodness, that would be gorgeous. Yeah, if it's reflecting against the water. Oh yeah. Well, that's when we used to live over in Southern California, we would go up to Big Bear and Tahoe, and they would do fireworks shows up there, and it is so gorgeous to watch the fireworks. Same with when we lived up in Portland. We would go down to the Multnomah River, and they would have the boats, and the barge would do the fireworks off of it, and you could watch them just reflecting off the water. It is a stunning sight. Yeah, your dog, however, not enjoying that. Yeah, I can understand. That's why, again, I don't want to do it at my house because I have too many livestock animals, and I've got dogs, and my mom's got a dog who's, getting up there in age. And it's just not fair to the dogs because it's not like they can get away. I mean, they can go and they can hide underneath the bed, but, it's still not fun for them. Okay, so there is that full branch. So let me show you. There is the more twiggy branch that you die cut out of your cardstock. This is the one that you stamp and then die cut it out of your the bigger one, just so you can see the difference between those two. So what I'm going to do with this branch, I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on there, and we're just going to set this kind of going right straight across the center. Now, probably both stems are going to kind of come off the edge, which is good. And then we're going to take our leaves and we're going to just put those on there straight down. We're just going to glue those. So I'm taking it just like that. Holding that for a few seconds to let that all adhere. Now I would take my bird and I would put my bird right there. I mean, which I can do. I am gonna pop him up though. I didn't pop him up on the other card, but I'm gonna pop him up because I just think it definitely shows some dimension. So we're gonna place the bird right like that. Okay, then we're gonna take our little circle. Now that we've applied everything to it, we're going to close our card, and without applying any glue or anything to it, you're going to get your placement, because you want to make sure you don't go too far over, because then if it hangs past your card base, then you're not going to be able to get it into an envelope. So you definitely want to make sure that when you see this, we're still seeing our sentiment down here. We're still seeing the inside, but then it's not hanging over on either one of our sides. So I'm just gonna hold this, flip it over, knowing that I just want glue down this side. And then I'm going to apply that right to my card base. And again, giving that a couple of seconds to adhere. Okay, and then when that opens, it is just so glorious. I think those colors are just stunning together. I love that lemon lime twist with that blueberry bushel. And like I said, see how it's just got that subtle blue on this circle. It's not so, I wish I would have colored my bird in, because let me just show you this one. So this one, you can see with that blue bird on there, it just really, makes him pop with that blue that we've sponged onto the white circle. It just really makes for a gorgeous card. And I'm not sure if you guys can see the wink of Stella on the wings of that bird, but just kind of adds a little bit of sparkle and shine to it. I'm trying to see if I can get the camera to grab it, but I don't think I can. But you guys know what I'm saying. Oh, there's some right there. There it is on the little bird. But yeah, just a very, very cute, fun and easy fun fold card. So there are our 3 cards. So I'm just going to show you guys this one since the other one's not complete. But let me bring in the other 2 cards to show you. So this is the kit for this week. When you place a $35 or more order from me in my online store, shopdannygarola.com. Hit that shop button, go into my store. Just remember, on the 6th, you are going to not only earn this kit from me, but you are also going to earn those bonus points, and that is on Thursday. And we're going to have new items added to the online exclusives. So lots of bonuses if you shop on the 6th and after next week. So be sure to use my host code when you shop with me. If your order is over $150, please do not use my host code. You're still going to earn the kit. You're still going to earn the bonuses and all the good things. I just want you to have your Stampin' Up! Is going to give you some rewards, and I want you to have those because you have earned those. So next week, I am going to be featuring the oh my goodness, I just drew a blank. Yeah, I don't remember what it is now. Oh, the Silly Goose. That's what it is. I just created last night 3 of the cutest Silly Goose cards, and that is what I'm going to be featuring next week for the card kit. Just to let you guys know, I will get the events created for that and the mystery stamping coming up. And so I hope you guys have a wonderful and safe 4th of July. Keep your pets safe. Those poor little ones, those fur babies, can't quite get away from the popping and the crackling, and it does really scare them. I do remember last year, one of our top demonstrators, Miss Dina, who is a part of our little group, Dina Rico, she is like really good friends with my team leader. She had just got a brand new puppy last year, and they went out on a boat. And when they got back to shore, somebody let off a firework, and her brand new puppy took off and was missing for almost like a week and a half. I'm thinking, I don't remember if it was quite that long or if it was a full week. But luckily, her community all pulled together, and she's got, they're almost like Akitas. They're all white. I don't remember the specific breed, but it's an all white, very fluffy dog. By the time she got it back, it was filthy. It had went over and hid kind of in a swampy area. Yeah. And so, I mean, I'm in Tucson, Arizona. She's all the way back in Ohio or Iowa or something like that. And so yeah, my heart was just breaking for her family and for that poor dog that was lost out there. And on top of that, it was a brand new puppy. And so it just, we all need to be aware of our fur babies as well, because some people forget about that. And, so take care of yourselves. I would love to hear what you guys are doing and what you wind up doing on 4th of July. And I will see you guys back here next Monday for our Silly Goose class. Also, I will be live on Thursday for Coffee and Cards. That is a YouTube live. I will put the link in this Facebook page here. So if you want to join me on that is at noon Pacific time. So it is like kind of smack dead in the middle of the day, but it's for crafters who are home and would like to have something to watch during the day instead of waiting for the evenings like this. Thank you so much. Happy 4th of July to you too as well, Kim. All right, you guys, have a good one. Thanks for coming in and watching me. Bye-bye.